Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh. Today we're going to talk about scarcity, utility, and yield, and how do they affect the value of specifically crypto assets like XRP, Bitcoin, and Spark, and then how FAssets on the Spark network are going to change those actual native assets and give them additional value with the new functionality added on the Flare network. So let's start off here with scarcity. That has been Bitcoin's predominant marketing pitch, is that it's a scarce asset. There's only 21 million exist, and that's what will drive the value. Now let's look back at the Bitcoin white paper. It was supposed to be a P2P payment system that people would transact with Bitcoin on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, the settlement takes sometimes hours, sometimes up to a day on a busy day. The fees are very expensive, so it is no longer a viable payment asset. Now, moving over to the XRP ledger with XRP, which has fast speed, fast settlement, and is able to be used as a payment token, and specifically one of its major use cases that Ripple is pushing and building infrastructure for with their enterprise products on RippleNet is as a global liquidity solution for foreign currency exchanges. So this would be going from one fiat to another fiat with XRP as the bridge asset. Now, that's the utility. What both of these assets are missing still is the storage demand to hold them that's not just speculative. Now we move over to the Spark token. Spark is going to be scarce, just like Bitcoin, just like XRP. Yes, it has an inflation built into it that is the form of the Flare Time Series Oracle, which generates rewards which are given to participants who participate and utilize the network and vote in the Flare Time Series Oracle. Now, on Flare network, we'll have FAssets, so Fxrp, FBTC, and Litecoin, and other ones in the future. Now, this transforms those assets like Bitcoin, which is just scarce. That's its business model. It's scarce. Yes, you could trade it between different people, but its whole campaign and marketing push is just it's scarce. That's not going to be enough. Yes, the utility of it being a store of value will only get it so far. The assets need to have some type of utility, but then they also have to have some form of storage demand of why you're going to hold these assets and why you're going to utilize them on their networks. Now, we look at us as speculators. That's how we've always been in this space. But that's changing. We're not just going to be speculators. We're going to be users of the actual networks. And we're going to be participants in these networks. And that's what will drive the value. And ultimately, institutions will as well. Now, moving back over to the Flare network and specifically talking about Spark here, is that Spark tokens come with the deflationary aspect. Yes, it has some inflation, but there's going to be a very small supply, and it still has that scarce component to it. But the two things that it comes with that are very, very, very important to understand is it comes with utility and use case right out the gate on the network. So Spark tokens are used as collateral for the FAssets brought on to the Flare network. Now, Spark tokens also come with built-in yield. So anyone who owns a Spark token or is utilizing it in an application or staking it as collateral is able to delegate a detachable vote at no risk to earn yield. And now that drives the robustness of the network to participate in the Flare time series oracle. So you're helping the network gain accurate price feeds, but you or any holder or owner of these tokens is going to earn yield on a daily or bi-daily basis, or something possibly multiple times a day, just by doing that. So what this does is it creates demand to hold that asset. So if it's either being staked, obviously that's then being held and locked. It's not on trading on exchanges or on the open market. It's being locked as staked as collateral. If it's not being utilized for that, it's earning yield on the Flare network, and you're going to be less likely to sell an asset that is earning yield and high yield, especially in the beginning. This is why the inflation rewards are so powerful, because they create that storage demand. Somebody is going to be less likely to sell something that is earning them every day. So if the price of Spark goes up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. You're earning rewards every day. And those that don't see that are going to wind up selling to somebody else who does see that and then participates in the network. Now, these tokens could also, if they're not being used as collateral, can be used in other applications on the actual network. And they could simultaneously earn the yield from delegating their votes. So right out of the gate, Spark's going to have multiple use cases. It's going to have utility as collateral. So that's going to drive its demand. And it's going to have yield, which is going to drive the storage demand to accumulate those Spark tokens to earn more yield. And this is going to impact the open trading markets. Another thing that's really great here is out the gate, Spark is going to be on roughly 50 to 75 of the biggest exchanges around the world. Now, with everyone trying to utilize the token on the network, either as collateral and or earning the FTSO rewards, everyone who's staking is going to be earning those rewards. Now, this is possible because Spark is not used to secure the network, like in mining with proof of work or in block rewards with proof of stake. This is why Flare Network is different from those other blockchain networks. And it's very, very important to understand that. So even when ETH 2.0 comes out, it's not going to be able to compete with a system like this, besides all the lower gas fees and the faster settlement. Now, let's transition over, now that we understand how the Spark token is going to have utility, multiple use cases, and come with yield right out the gate, and is going to be scarce. So only 15% of the Spark tokens that were airdropped to Fxrp holders are going to be released when the network goes live. The other 85% are going to be distributed roughly 3% every month. Okay, now transitioning over to the FAssets. When they come over to the Flare network, they are going to instantly gain yield. So any FAsset that is minted, say it be Fxrp, say it be FBTC, FLTC, and FDoge, are going to come over onto Flare once you mint them, and you're going to earn daily Spark rewards. Now, these Spark rewards come from a general rewards pool. They are not part of the inflation system. That's only for the Flare time series oracle. This is from, think of the general rewards pool as an escrow. So think the Flare network has its own escrow that algorithmically distributes rewards daily to anyone who mints FAssets. Now, this FAsset, say it's Fxrp, let's take for example here, you're going to earn daily Spark rewards. You're going to be able to then utilize that Fxrp in Ethereum-based smart contracts on a network with very low gas fees that are set and can't go up, and it's a governance function, and have fast settlement and can scale to roughly, we don't know the exact numbers, but we're assuming they're going to be over 5,000 transactions per second. That's an estimate. There's no definitive numbers yet on that. So now you're going to be able to earn this yield every day. You're going to be able to utilize this FAsset in an application. So I could put this FAsset, say, in a FLTC farm pool and earn and mine YFIN. Or I could put it in a collateral debt position and mint a stablecoin. And now I get another asset while I'm simultaneously earning the daily rewards from the general rewards pool, which is like the escrow, and you gain the capital appreciation. So if XRP goes up in price, so does FXRP. And you're still able to earn that capital appreciation, but you're earning yield on a daily basis. And now you mint another asset like a stablecoin. That's just an example. There'll be many other use cases on the Flare network for all these FAssets. So whatever FXRP could do, FDoge could do, FBitcoin could do. And that's really giving those assets, and it's unlocking all that value from those other networks to gain yield on a daily basis and use with smart contracts. So just because Doge doesn't have a use case now and Bitcoin doesn't have a use case and is only a store of value, once it's on Flare, it completely transforms into another type of asset. Even though its underlying blockchain is still archaic in the sense of Bitcoin, where it's slow and expensive. Once it's on Flare, it's not anymore. So then we have the XRP ledger, which is connected to the Flare network. So any of these FAssets that are on Flare can move trustlessly over to the XRP ledger and trade on the DEX. And now that's going to give XRP ledger's protocol utility and actual use. That's how these networks are going to boost the value of the actual tokens. And like Glenn Hutchins said, the value is in the protocol. And it's just super important to know that. It's not just, oh, this asset because it's a store of value. That will only go so far. And right now, it's gaining a lot of attention with the Tesla buying of Bitcoin, the MicroStrategies, and all these big marketing campaigns. But that's not going to last if it doesn't have utility and you can't utilize it. But you will on Flare. So we can't dismiss Bitcoin's proof of work and its store value only use case, because that's going to change once it comes over to Flare. Same with Doge. And we have to be aware of that. So going back to FXRP specifically here, I want to provide a visual in your own head of how XRP right now doesn't have that yield. You hold it, it's purely speculative. If it goes up, if it goes down, it doesn't come with yield. There's no reason to hold it right now. You can't really utilize it too much. Yes, Ripple is working on a massive use case, but that's going to take time to develop over the years. But in the meantime, there's other use cases for these assets, specifically XRP, because you have the XRP ledger, which is not being utilized to its fullest. So now when you have FXRP, you're going to get daily yield you're going to be earning in Spark. And in the beginning, it's going to be massive rewards. So you're going to compound as you make more rewards in Spark. Then you're going to have more votes to delegate to earn even more and more. So that's very, powerful anymore. It's just fresh. That's what it is. You bringing XRP onto Flare and calling it FXRP, it's like fresh XRP. Really, you're giving it yield and you're giving it utility to all the institutions and all the retailers on the Flare network that could utilize it. Regular XRP right now does not have that capabilities. Doesn't have the smart contracts. It doesn't come with the yield. Over there, you have an algorithmically distributing escrow, just sending out rewards to all the FAsset holders. And as more FAssets are minted, obviously then it has to get spread out. So in the beginning, the rewards are going to be the highest for FAsset holders who mint, and then for the Spark holders who delegate their FTSO vote. One other thing to throw in here is the FAssets do also come with a Flare time series Oracle vote, which is called the FTSO. You don't earn rewards by delegating your vote from FAssets, but you could be compensated from the signal providers that you do delegate to. So, because it gives them more voting power. And therefore, you could technically earn 3 ways simultaneously with Fxrp. You earn your daily rewards, you earn a compensation fee for delegating your vote, and then you utilize it in an application all at the same time. Now at XRP regular, you have none of that at the moment. So that's what's going to drive the price of XRP, and retail can affect it. And this is owners of XRP now. This is going to transition us from just pure speculators to actual users and participants in the Flare network, and ultimately citizens if you're a Spark holder, because then you're going to have a governance vote. And all XRP holders, if you're part of the snapshot, are going to be Spark holders, combined with the rest of the communities coming over. So I just want everyone to really understand here that Fxrp is going to be a massive upgrade for XRP. Yes, regular XRP will still have its use cases on the XRP ledger as they get built out, and also in ODL. But the more Fxrp that's minted and utilized on the Flare network, that's less supply on these trading exchanges and secondary markets. So there's going to be less supply, which creates scarcity, and you're going to have the utility on the Flare network to utilize these assets, and they're going to come with yield. Those are the 3 key components you're going to need for value to increase. And then there'll be other use cases that RippleNet will have with XRP. But Spark also is going to be just as powerful, because it's going to come with all those things right out the gate. And we're getting that airdrop to us. So it's truly amazing that the Flare network is going to be all ready to go with utility, with use cases, storage demand, yield, and fast settlement, smart contracts with the EVM. I mean, this is something we should really be excited about. But we also have to keep in mind Doge and FBTC and Litecoin, they're all going to have the same capabilities too. They're not just, considered archaic anymore. Now they're like, whoop, they just got revived and rejuvenated with new capabilities. We're unlocking that value onto the Flare network. And every FAsset that's minted, Spark needs to be used as collateral. So 2.5 times the value of that asset in Spark needs to be held for each FAsset minted. So that's going to drive massive demand for all of this Spark to be used as collateral. And therefore, it's going to pull it off the secondary market, off these exchanges. And therefore, value is going to go up, 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 and up fast. That's not financial advice, but I'm just telling you how the system works. And it is designed and engineered is the real word. It's token engineering and crypto economics. The inflation is a beautiful mechanism, the way it's used. It's the exact opposite of the way the Fed uses inflation. The inflation here is used to drive participation and drive demand for an asset. So a lot of people hear inflation and they think, oh my God, it's bad. How can it appreciate? Well, this is the type of inflation that does drive the price, because it drives the good behavior and the good participants to utilize the Spark token on the network. And those that don't participate won't be rewarded, and those that sell out will sell into the hands of those that will participate. And now this makes the network stronger. So it creates that positive feedback loop. And this is what the power of the Flare network is going to do. And it's going to have a major impact on all of us. And we really need to understand as much as we can. And I know it's very complicated at first. I advise you or suggest check out the DeFiStandard.com. That is our website. We've put a ton of blogs on there. We've linked all the information from the Flare networks, Patty XRP has done a great job writing the blogs, pulling out some of my voice notes from Telegram groups that will help you understand. And also check out the Flare. Flare.xyz is the Flare Network's official website, and they have some great information on there. I would read through the white papers, read through the blogs, and they might not make sense the first time to you or the second time, but go back to them in a couple weeks after you listen through all these videos. And this is now the 8th episode. So try to start from the beginning of the Flare Network episodes and you work your way through. And at first you might not understand it, but eventually you're going to get to a moment and you're going to be like, oh, the light bulb goes off and you're like, wow, this is really powerful what they built. I'm Mickey B. Fresh, and I'm out.